I mean, at this point, does it even matter?
Well, no, but
Just
hey, it
let's just say
looks
some stuff.
it looks like I got you. Yeah, I got audio.
All right. All
Oh,
right.
welcome everyone to the Jankyard.
It does say we're live. There we
We're
go.
we're back. It's been a
We're
while.
back.
In
It's
case you,
like we were never gone.
I know, I know.
Oh man,
Time is an
it's also like
illusion.
riding a bike.
An illusion is illusion. In case you forget who we are, I am your host, The Treatment, and with me are two lovely co-hosts. We've got the one and only Shmenny.
What's up? That's me.
Wow, 3 months for that intro. And
What else do you want me to say? I like what is in ashes? I don't even know anymore.
all right, let's see. And Killer Cactus.
Hey yo yo yo.
All right,
Talk
well,
about some time cards.
we're down with the kids. Oh god.
Ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna have to raise the energy to the all of zero viewers that are watching right now, because it's late. I was
My
asleep
energy is
20
great. I don't
minutes
know what
ago,
you're talking about.
and yeah, we've got a lot to cover. Let's just make sure. Oh well, I'm guessing Fred will jump in, our loyal fan base of one or two.
Of one. Yeah.
Maybe Fritz and Shadow jump in at some point.
No, it's not zero. We're all listening. All the girls are watching.
All the ladies are watching.
Yeah.
All right.
Watching.
All right. So here we go. We are here to cover the very exciting end of Argaia, the last of the Red Rain's time cycle. And I gotta say, it's probably one of my favorite out of all of the Red Rains. It's got a lot of really cool things. So let me just let's pop us over so that we can get to it. Um, there are a lot of really interesting cards in this set that I'm excited to cover, see what you guys think about them. And then at least one completely garbage card that we'll see if we get to. No spoilers. So let's just hit the ground running with the first preview. Time Stopper was the first card revealed. It is an ally. It costs 1 power side. It's a 1 attack, 2 life, 1 recover unit. And it's got Swift, which means after a unit comes into play onto an opponent's battlefield, you may play this unit from your hand without paying its main action costs. So just like Swift Messenger or Shadow Guard. But it's got an awesome ability, Halt. When this unit comes into play, choose a target unit an opponent controls. That unit cannot attack, block, or guard until the end of next turn or the round. What do you guys think about this card? Because I think it's awesome.
Oh, phenomenal.
What?
I said it's a phenomenal card.
Oh, I thought you said it's not phenomenal.
No, it's fantastic. Halt's a really cool ability that we haven't seen. I mean, are like very, very limited instances of this thing on stuff like Blue Jaguar that never gets played. The similar effects to this. So, where you see like, I wanted to say terrifying is another good example, but that can make units not block, but you hardly ever see it get used on just like dodging a unit guard. Stuff like Confusion Spores has like effects like this, but they're like, I mean, that's just a bad card, and this is all like you put this on a body that you can play on your opponent's turn,
Yep.
and it's freaking fantastic.
I agree. It's hard to argue against it. It seems awesome. I've been playing a little bit of Echo in my return to Ashes over the last couple of weeks, and this is the kind of card that someone like Echo loves, where he's always playing for that marginal battlefield advantage, trying to set up a swing. And if Echo gets ahead on battlefield and can use his Phoenix-born ability as well as Time Stopper, as well as Lightbringer, he can really cause some problems for an opponent. So it seems very cool. It seems Um, what I like also about it is that it's halt is one of those first abilities that I've seen that really messes with tempo in a way that isn't removal and has utility for both swinging, like in an aggressive deck and in a defensive deck. So in some ways, it's actually just as good if you're trying to deal with negative tempo and catch up on board. Like if, for example, against a mount deck, and there is a really big mount that we'll see later, playing this at when your opponent, actually there are two side action summons in this set. When your opponent is using a side action summon to try and slow them down and make sure they can't main action swing, also seems really good. So it feels like a very versatile card, and like it's going to see a ton of play.
Yeah, yeah. This card. I mean, first of all, the art is really cool, and also welcome Fred. He's in the chat now. He's even got one of those top fan symbols, which is pretty cool. I like that.
You give those out to anyone.
Yeah,
who
you give those out
watches.
to anyone. I love.
Yeah, if you
I love that this is, first of all, like even if you took away one of the two abilities, it's a 1 cost 1/2/1 unit, which is just good. Like that's pretty good value stat wise. But the halt ability specifically, I think, is such a game changer because it's both like it stops attacking. So I think it's pretty clear that this is at least somewhat a counter to Dragon, which has been the boogeyman
Absolutely.
for
Oh, right.
months. So they play Dragon on a side action. Normally, AoE your field can't do anything. This comes down, stops them from attacking. It's 2 life, so it will still at least tank the AoE. It gives you that extra turn to apply removal, hard removal if you have it, or put down another unit. It's so good in so many ways. And then yeah, like you said, synergy with mounts, even synergy with like alterations. I think your opponent plays something, you drop this, and then you can counter swing for the win or counter swing at a big knight that they thought was going to be just free to take you out. I think this is very, very cool. I think it's going to be a staple, even if not just specifically time decks, but like I think it's worth running as a counter to a lot of the meta decks as a one of. So yeah,
it's going to be interesting the types of time decks that get ran because there's the other cards we're going to talk about in this set that lend themselves pretty hard into like a fatigue strategy, and this card is like a lot more of a bypassy card. So I think I guess that speaks to the versatility of time magic, right?
I
And that
think
it can do quite a few things.
yeah, I think it goes both ways. Like I was even just thinking about it in defensive decks, like mill decks, because we'll get to some of the other cards. But I was theory crafting with Mitch on like a Rowan deck, and when you want to be able to play defensively, this both stops your opponent from attacking and getting a body down. But even specifically in Rowan, it's really cool because you can conscript it and get a back to back delay. So it's really cool that way. Almost like a safeguard type of play. Now we get to the first reaction spell, After Image.
Wait, hold on.
What?
We have to talk about the visual of the so you said it's a dragon counter, right? I love like the lore visual aspect of like Demona riding this dragon into battle, and this little dude just like jumps out and puts up his hand. And it's like halt. She just freaking stops.
It's pretty cool.
Pretty
I love the
awesome.
spear and the the magic essence coming out of it. And then it's cool because you see the same unit now in After Image.
Great segue.
Great
10 out of
segue for
10.
the art. So here we go.
Yeah.
After Image reaction spell, power side again. You may play this spell after an ally you control is destroyed as a result of an attack, spell, ability, or dice power an opponent controls. Place that ally into your hand. Deal 2 damage to a target unit that opponent controls. This card is bonkers.
Yeah, it's
yeah. Go.
a
You guys
lot
go
of value
first.
for 1 die specifically. right? I mean, one die to do 2 damage is already, kind of above curve, right? We don't see that in other stuff other than like sympathy pain.
Yeah.
But
End in snare.
and you get to save an ally back to your hand too.
Yeah.
And they have to and they did something, like they spent resources to attack or hit you with something, or that you're canceling, or at least like half canceling, because it does remove, still going to remove the thing they wanted to remove, but it goes back to your hand. Yeah, really, really cool card. And between this and Fate Reflection, going to be tough for any decks to attack into an ally deck that has Time Magic up, for sure.
Agreed. And I mean, it synergizes with some of the most annoying cards in the game, specifically Lightbringer again. I mean, trying to pull your opponent forward so that you can pull your Time Stopper back to hand, for example, because they have to swing a 2/2 at you. Although I guess they could target the Lightbringer potentially, but there's definitely shenanigans. I also think with Jericho's signature card, which we'll see in a little bit, allies are a really good card to have in hand to discard for discard effects because of the ease of recurring them with Shepherd of Lost Souls or Ceremonial. So like if you need cards to discard for Double Edge, for example, this is a really nice way of putting a very friendly card type in hand to do that.
Yeah, I like this for cards for allies that get a lot of immediate hate because they can provide above curve value. So whether it's something like Fire Archer, where
But once a Fire Archer's down, I don't care about it.
well, no, because you get Fire Archer ping. You can use it to swing at something, and then generally you're running it with something like Chant of Revenge as well. So this is like with just 2 dice, you're getting so much value out of that. Or Enchanted Violinist, you get down, you smash it. They want to clear it up before the next round. Well, you just bring it out again. Not to mention like the myriad of other units now that have enter effects.
Enter the battlefield.
Yeah. So yeah, I think this is going to be really cool.
I think Violinist is the one that is most interesting to me. It's like there's not that many cheap allies that, because I do think you want them cheap if you're going to play them multiple times with Afterimage. There are not that many cheap allies that get that as much hate as Violinist does. Like if you really want to be sure someone kills an ally, Violinist is a pretty good bet.
For sure. Well, like, what are some other ones? So I'm thinking Rose Gardener has got a lot of value that it can carry over. Not to mention, we're talking about a set that tends to be geared towards tokens, which is interesting. And then I'm also curious because the art itself is Ruin Dweller, effectively, which is an interesting thing. And I'm wondering, like, is the idea that you're putting units down that would otherwise die and protect against a Ruin Dweller swing, and then be able to carry over value. I keep looking over my shoulder. I realize it's your camera where kids are coming out of.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Yeah, no, it's all good. So I love this. I think it's really cool, and dealing 2 damage to a target unit opponent controls is just, I mean, that's great removal as it is. But I'm curious to see whether people like cycle this with Alchemist for more draw, or they cycle it with all kinds of other stuff. I don't know. There's a lot of potential. We're gonna move on without Shmeny.
Go for it.
All right. So I was not a 1.0 player, but as I understand, this is a kind of like a player favorite. We've got the Tusk Mount, the elephant. Was it Elephant Rider in 1.0?
Correct. That's what it was before.
So now it's Summon Tusk Mount. Side action 2 time class, 2 basic, so cost 4 on top of the ally that you're going to need. Remove an ally control from play. If you do place a Tusk Mount Conjuration, doesn't do anything else. Now, the Tusk Mount has Wreckage 2. After this unit destroys a unit an opponent controls by attacking, place 2 Rubble Spirit Conjurations onto your battlefield. Not to mention, this is a 5/4/1, and it's got a 2 Conjuration limit, which is pretty cool. And the artwork is really sick, and it's got Swifty riding the back of them. So Rubble Spirits are incredible. These things are so good. I'm very interested to see what happens with this. Rubble Spirit, crumble 1. When it enters into play, discard 1 off the top of a target opponent draw pile. And it's a 1/1/0. And that's it. And you can have 4 of them, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's the big thing that jumps to my mind quickly is the 4 of these things you can have.
Which means
so like double down is just
double down is on.
so cool. Yeah, with this thing. In my mind immediately goes to some kind of hope deck where I'm duplicating Rubble Spirits and using elephants to put them into play and doubling them down and just like drilling someone's draw pile for 1,000,000 cards.
It's crazy that you're getting a Finch worth of or an abundance of mill.
Yeah.
But with 2 bodies, and they both have 1 attack. Like, that's just, it's so good. I mean, it had to be good because of the cost of the whole thing. Effectively, you're paying 5 for Tusk, so it's not cheap overall, but it's just like, it's so good. And
yeah, I mean, you're paying 4.5, like because you're going to get something out of the ally that you played.
Sure, yeah,
and and you get to. I mean, you get to swing a 5/4 at something.
Yeah,
and this is a side action summon, so you can summon this thing and then attack immediately. So like, as long as you can, you can have your little ally hanging out on the board. You don't have to mount the thing right away. And if they try and kill it before you get this down, then you just play after image and you blow up their thing and take it back to your hand and do it again. Like,
well, you probably can't do it again unless you're going to spend all your dice on it. But
no, I mean, like, so I play my violinist, like you said before,
right?
Or Rose.
Well, not violinist.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
You wouldn't want to exhaust it
right away.
Yeah.
But you play whatever ally.
I was thinking Swifty, or maybe, honestly. You draw
Swifty or Time Stopper. It doesn't even give your opponent a chance to kill the thing.
Time Stopper's really good because it keeps, exactly. It makes it that much harder for your opponent to remove the Time Stopper.
Right, but if you do, like, you can play it with Fire Archer or something, or I was trying to think of a mill-related ally, but I don't know if there is like Hollow would be a good one, I guess.
Ooh,
like
yeah.
You play Hollow, spin a couple dice down, and then if they kill you leave it there, right? Then if they kill the thing before you get to mount it, or if they try to kill it, then you play After Image, you pick it up, and you put the Hollow back down and spin down 2 more dice. Like,
right.
then if they eventually they don't kill it, then you put it on an elephant and you make a million cards.
Yeah, especially because Hollow is illusion, so you're already in time illusion for double down, so it's Correct. Really nice there. And I mean, if you did want to go the extra cost for Time Stopper, the fact that Time Stopper prevents units from blocking means that even that's just an easy 5 damage, right? That you're swinging. And it's really cool if you're playing it against something that they, like, if they drop a unit guard, then they can't even use the unit guard against, like, protecting a knight. So this is just, I think this is incredible. I'm very interested to see where it goes. We just came in.
It's 4 dice.
Yeah, sure.
But I mean, it should be incredible, right? But still, this is Silver Paladin is obviously a 4 dice unit that people are excited to play, but I mean, this is another one, and really the only other one that I've seen so far where I'm like, yeah, I'll pay 4 dice for this thing all day.
Yeah, it's really really cool. Although there is one other unit that I think is going to get potentially a bump, which is Spenny's favorite, with the whale. I think there's some potential revival of those strats once we get to Cinder and the jellies.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well, I'll look forward to talking to that. But yeah, I think this is in the place. One of my favorite archetypes to play is a kind of aggressive, but battlefield focused aggressive mill deck. So like the Herald mill decks we were playing back in the day, or some aggressive Leo mill burn decks. And I think in that kind of deck, especially with Gifted Rose now for Leo, I think this is pretty interesting. I think dealing with it uh, makes me think about Figures in the Fog, like just being able to just, immediately exhaust this really annoying unit so you just don't have to deal with it and have a terrible choice between taking 5 with your guard versus letting it put 2 Rebel Spirits into play.
And probably killing anything, basically.
Right. And pretty much killing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it should be fun. I really like the points you're making about the kinds of allies that you can bring in. I think you have a ton of options, and that hollow play sounds gross. I will say one more thought here, just on this page of previews, like the Time Stopper and After Image, and I guess we'll talk about cards in a minute that make this more interesting. But do y'all think Reimagine starts to see play in time with these powerful time reaction effects? Because we really haven't. I don't think I've really seen Reimagine played for the time power use for reactions.
I think there's definitely potential.
I agreed. I've seen it tried. Right, you have cards like Flash Strike that are criminally underplayed right now that I think are good with that, along with Fate Reflection. But I mean, these two cards at the top are just both fantastic 1-die time reactions
Right.
that make Reimagine seem extremely appealing.
Yeah. We'll get to Cinder Spirit, I think, is next. And that could be a place where you actually want, or it's worth spending
You use the
time power. Yeah. To put it down. I'm also thinking, like, this just puts, like you mentioned, Hope, which I think is really interesting. Then you do something like Shadow Spirits as well, and you could put a lot of mill pressure out of the non-typical mill decks, right? Like you're leaning on time now, as well as a little bit of illusion for the spin down. But this will be interesting.
I'm eyeing up the Leo too, just like kind of my old turbo mill deck, but maybe instead of the charm focus, you play this elephant with Ash Spirit and Abundance. Maybe that's your spell board. You go a little bit more heavy into allies, and
I think you go,
a lot more of an aggressive battlefield attacking type deck instead of just turtling up with doves and stuff like before.
Yeah, and you go with Gifted Rose, because then they can't even block the Tusk Mount. So you just keep swinging at their stuff to die, and then you get the mill anyway. Fritz says the time power gets a huge buff when both players are running status token strategy, so I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. Not to mention,
you can also de-tokening Cinder Spirits is really interesting, actually.
Yeah. Take off a token from their, one of their units, or like a Chant of Revenge or something like that, and then buff your own Cinder Spirit, and you're gold. All right.
Yeah.
I honestly, the previews for the first like 2 or 3 are so cool. So Cinder Spirit's interesting. I think there's some conflict or some perhaps divided opinions just because of the tempo of this, but this is an interesting one. Summon Cinder Spirit. It is a main action, free to place 1 status token on the spell. Then, as a side action, unexhaustible, 1 class, 1 basic, move a status token from this spell onto a unit you control. If you do, place a Cinder Spirit Conjuration onto the battlefield. Cinder Spirit is a cool tiger looking thing. 2/2/0. It has Ignite, which is the same ability as Ember Root Lizard. When this unit is declared as an attacker, if it has one or more status tokens on it, add 1 to its attack value for the remainder of the turn. If you do, you may deal 1 damage to another target unit. So it becomes a 3/2 with a ping for 2 dice, and you can move status tokens around, which is interesting.
So I mean, my first thought about this was like, what cards do we have that allow you to put status tokens on the ready spell, other than like Koji? Do we have any other things that can do that?
Just transfer.
Transfer, yeah.
Yeah, transfer would do it. That's expensive. Is there
Pretty
anything
expensive.
cheaper? Yeah.
Yeah, I was just looking because the time magic, the time power is interesting and worth noting here, where you can place 1 status token on a target unit you control, but you can remove 1 status token from a target unit or spell. So it does work to hold down your opponent's Cinder Spirits, but it doesn't let you get another free activation of your own. Well,
Yeah.
free, but I mean 1 dice. Why not Koji? I mean, Koji's interesting, no?
Yeah, why not
No,
Koji?
it's definitely interesting. I mean, it's he can summon 2 of these things in 1 round with 1 book, which is kind of cool. Or just put a status token onto one of them before it swings, which is also good.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if you get how good it really is to get 2 summons out of a book in a round like this. Like, I just, my mind goes to the old Fallen, and it's like, well, man, we could just keep activating that book, and it was broken. And then I see this book that lets you activate it when it's exhausted, and it's like, how do we abuse this? But for 2 dice, I don't think it's that huge of a deal.
One that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, Omen Bringer is one that actually is interesting. It doesn't move the token, but it unexhausts the book again, so you can
So you could put a second token down. Yeah.
Yeah.
What
so
else?
You can move the status token to the Omen Bringer, summon the Cinder Spirit, immediately swing with the Omen Bringer, and get it ready to place another status token on, or have it ready again for next round.
Right. Yeah. There's okay. So Fritz is in the chat now, and him and Fred are having their own discussion. He said Koji loves his cards. It lets you your first 5 be flexible. You can run this and Glory and decide if you want to grab Light Swordsman, summon Cinder twice, or Sonic and Cinder. I think it's also really interesting in Koji again. Just if you're thinking of Wolfpack Leader, because this moves tokens onto stuff. So that's really neat. Yeah, Wolfpack Leader.
Yeah,
right.
Wolfpack Leader, by the way, is an amazing card for Afterimage. Actually, that's another one that people want to murder immediately.
Yeah, that's true. What about it? Does Ocean's Gift allow you to place a token only on the unit or anything?
On the unit. No, on a unit. I'm pretty sure, but I can.
So is it really just this ability and transfer and Koji? Is that it?
I just did a search of place a status token in Ashes.live, and I didn't find anything.
Yeah, it can be kind of tricky. Either way, I think this is pretty good value. I am curious as to the timing, like managing it all, but a 2 or 3/2 plus a ping for 2, and it's effectively repeatable, as long as you can get tokens down, is quite interesting. And the fact that you don't, like, it's like a flexible first 5 slot where you don't have to summon it, is also very interesting, especially now that there's so much draw. Like, you can play this in anybody with Twilight, or play it in Remia, and you could just draw things up and then do whatever you want at a later time.
Yeah, I mean, look, I swear it took me like 4 or 5 times to read this card before I started to feel like I understood it enough to talk about it, and I still feel like it's a slippery sense of exactly how to use it. But I think in that context, the best argument I've seen for it being good is that Carl made it the most expensive of this new set, at least preliminarily, for Ashes 500, which is a format where you have a certain number of points, and he gave the first copy of this card 50 points, so it'd be basically 1/10 of your budget spent on this one book. So Carl is certainly high on it. It's um I think the thing I think even just having a 2/2 at side action speed, as long as you've got the other unit to stick the status token on, which is not nothing. I mean, there are definitely situations where that kind of contingency can be a problem. That
Yeah,
is pretty compelling.
side action speed unexhaustible is very compelling. And it's almost Fallen-esque, where because it's so flexible, you can just click for a main action. I say click. You can just use a main action to pass, right? Like main action pass to get tokens down and only use them when you need. So it's very interesting that way. Speaking of, I also love the artwork on the books for this set where they're covered in sand, like they're in the sand. I think that's
like
very
discovered and
yeah, very cool. All right, Vermilion Sage, another ally, class cost, main action. Study 1. When this unit comes into play, look at the top card of your draw pile, place it on the top or bottom of your draw pile. Then draw 1 card. Inheritance. When this unit is destroyed, you may place 1 status token on a target unit. 1/1/1. What do you think?
Shout out to Inheritance 1, making its second appearance after Jungle Warrior. Long forgotten, oft overlooked.
Appearance. Gilder has it as well.
Oh, Gilder has it. You're right, and
Yeah.
Brilliant Thorn.
And Brilliant Thorn. So, yeah,
it's out there a bunch.
It's been around.
I think it's a cool card.
Okay.
I like. Yeah, I mean, like it's not. I think it's interesting in like the classic Rowan decks that are looking for the multiple copies of Discovery. Like, definitely seems like a good card in that context. I don't think you need a unit to put a status token on to feel good about Vermilion Sage, but it does definitely synergize with something like Cinder Spirit well, and the Vermilion Council is the council that's writing all of the spell books, or seems to be like a major source of study. So it's cool to see the actual dude holding the book that we've been seeing all these ready spells in. I don't know why he's looking at me like that. So,
judging very harsh.
putting me in your weird spell book, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Casey?
I mean, I think it's fine. I'm I don't know, this sympathy meta we've been in, where everyone's drawing a million cards, has me like very confused. I don't.
What doesn't though? Really?
Oh,
I'd be very confused.
Yeah. I don't like. I don't like the inconsistency of relying on draw in a game like Ashes, where you get to choose your first 5, but then but people are doing it and it's been good. So I don't know. I can't conceptually grasp like why these card draw strategies are stronger than just picking 5 cards. I mean, I get the focus effect of, diver and all that stuff, but I just feel like whenever I try and do things like that, I just don't draw the things. So it doesn't work for me.
This plus diver is interesting too, because you're functionally picking, drawing 2 cards with diver, and you're picking which one's on the bottom to draw, which could be better than drawing randomly with diver. And there are not that many effects. It's kind of this plus Stallion, and I guess Ancestor Spirit, that's stacking the bottom of your deck.
Memorialize.
And yeah.
Well, Memorialize.
You shuffle. Do you shuffle Memorialize? No. What's
no.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's I don't think it's like incredible, this card. And I'm curious where it fits in between Alchemist, Swifty, Knowledge Seeker, and I think I'm missing one, like one of the other draw effects. Where like how much people are going to value just a draw one, and well, I guess filter one, draw one, and then
Yeah,
the
C2 draw one, right?
the status token. Is that actually going to matter? Obviously, it's synergistic within the precon. I just don't know how much we're going to see this outside of that.
Yeah, it's tough to compare it to Alchemist because like Alchemist is a better effect, I think, because you get to see both cards before you make a decision with Alchemist, right? And you can put one of the other cards in your hand on the bottom. Doesn't have to be one of these two.
Yeah.
But like this thing has inheritance, which if you're if you're playing a deck where status tokens matter, then you probably want this over Alchemist. But I don't know. I think it's good because I've seen I've seen decks like Carl's Herald that he played at Gen Con where is like most of his first five was just draw a bunch of cards.
Yeah, and you
And
get your focus down.
yeah, it's like play Diver and then draw 8 cards. And if those decks work and your deck is built in such a way that you can be consistent enough to still have a solid game plan with that kind of thing, then a card like this is good. Right? It's obviously it's another way for Jericho to draw her prepared card, which again, like you said, good in the precon, but I think Jericho is happy to have something in color that does more than just draws the card. I mean, it also helps with the status token unit, but there's probably better ways for Jericho to draw her prepared card.
Yeah, it's
But yeah, I think this guy's fine.
it's fine. I don't think it's great, but it is, at least compared to Alchemist, you don't have to discard from your hand first. So maybe in particular for round 1 plays where you don't have another source of draw, this is valuable because it's just and it makes sense with something like Jericho as well. So you can kind of double stack. So maybe that's something. All right, now this card is
Hold
awesome.
on, I just
okay.
Before we get to Spearmaster, I just wanted to say I like it for a Revenge of the Nerds style. Like we've got so many nerdy allies now. We've got like 2 sages. There's the Ascendancy like accountant card basically coming. Like the
Hey, be careful calling those.
Yeah,
guys
I know.
nerds, all right?
I know. Well, present company excluded. You and Ben Affleck's character in that one movie are definitely the most badass.
There's what, Sandstorm
then,
Sage?
Yeah, Sandstorm Sage. There's Shepherd of Lost Souls. There's the Alchemist. There's a bunch of little nerds, ones with their latte, like barista. That I want to make a deck of all those. Will it be good? No. Will it make me laugh?
Yeah,
At least
that's
once.
The Jankfest deck.
Yeah. Okay. Now you can talk about Spearmaster.
I was trying to think of some stupid joke that this is a spicy card because it's Vermilion Sage, but anyway. And then was trying to think of any other cards that could fit in that terrible joke. But anyway, Spearmaster. All right, this card I think is super cool. Ally, it's the Time Knight. It's a time power time class basic. Replenish 2. When this unit comes into play and at the end of the round, place 2 status tokens on it. Spear Volley. When this unit is declared as an attacker, you may remove any number of status tokens from units you control. Deal 1 damage to an equal number of targets that opponent controls. This is like so cool. it's an AoE machine gun ally. It's very cool.
Good blink target.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a very nice blink target, and I mean, really any refresh is good, but blink is really good because it puts the 2 tokens back onto it after you've used it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it can only really deal with the 1 health units. Like you can't stack that damage. on anything, which is good. But
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I
if
don't,
you
I
if
don't
you
think
could
we'd want
stack,
to.
that would be insane. You just go around like pummeling. It becomes a tsunami shot on crack. Uh,
yeah,
like you play
but
whale and then play this, and
yeah,
you just blow up everything.
as someone who likes to occasionally put hunting weapons on 3/3 allies with uh, on attack abilities, I do think that is, there's definitely it gives you some room for shenanigans for sure. The spear volley.
Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
no matter what, you're getting fork lightning out of this
For free,
for free.
assuming you.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, on play, I mean, you
You,
get it right. Like, assuming you swing, you get a fork lightning.
so I guess one question, like, is this valuable enough as an ally? Like, do you root armor a spearmaster just to like make it really annoying to remove? And
You could. I mean, I think in general, right now, root armor is way undervalued and way underplayed. Like the
Yeah, it
last
needs to
three
be. I
sets
agree.
have just been what, like 6, 7 new sources of ping. It's crazy, and very rarely people are playing armored units. I played Celestial a few times, and it really crushes people's plans. Brute armor crushes a lot of plans, whether it's Adaptodon, Fork Lightning, Reverb, Diver. Like there's just so many things. And now this is going to be in there as well. Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
and
And Tristan's gonna be all over the place because he's in this set, so tsunami shot will be everywhere, and his unique, which is another source of ping.
yep, and
Um,
well, Double
but
Edge, which we'll get to as well.
yeah, but speaking of Tristan, this thing's fun to magnify.
Oh, I
it
didn't
doesn't work.
even.
No, it doesn't
No,
work.
it doesn't work. It's
The
spear
spear volley
volley.
isn't
It's
numbered.
dang, you almost had it.
You would need to have it to be spear volley 1.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't still double the numbers in the
No,
ability.
no, no. It has to. It has to be a numbered
The
ability.
ability has to be numbered.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I realized that. Or
Nick
It
is.
doesn't come up
that's
very
sad.
much.
Yeah,
But
Nick thought of it.
like ignite is also not ignite 1.
Which it should have been, but anyway.
Okay.
What's nice is if you are playing nature time, there's already synergies from back when the Lulu set came around. So there's different things you can do there. But I do think it sort of supports it very nicely. And even any fork lightning, reverb, whatever, like all these side action pings, you can easily remove 2 or 3 health units with this swinging.
Yeah, I think Lulu definitely has some. Like she likes Cinder Spirit, I think, quite a lot. Cinder Spirit's a great spark target. Um,
You spark
and
this.
yeah, and Cinder Spirit works really well with Ember Root Lizard too, like as a pair, because summoning the Cinder Spirit can power up the Ember Root Lizard. So, and then you still have your spark for the Cinder Spirit. So, I definitely see some cool time nature, Lulu ping stuff. And we're gonna get
Yeah,
to a card with in the next set of previews, the reaction to passing that also is interesting with Lulu's new signature. What was that called?
stamina burst.
Stamina burst, right?
I also
And then also
wonder.
in nature, you can play Gilder for the
Oh
additional
yeah,
additional status tokens that everybody like half forgets about with Gilder. That like
yep.
you can just play Gilder in this like, then you just have a couple extra status tokens laying around with Gilder, and all of a sudden they turn into fork lightnings.
I was also going to mention Wave Crash, which I think is forgotten about,
Yeah.
and that's an interesting one where you're getting an extra 2 damage.
That's a very, very good point.
Yeah. All right. That's preview number 2. On to number 3. There we go. Okay, we've got a very interesting card. It's still wrapping my head around it. Rising Tides, So it's an action spell, side action, time class. At the end of the next turn this round, deal 1 damage to all units. So basically, at the end of your opponent's turn, deal 1 damage to all units. So Nature's Wrath delayed for his side action.
Yeah, another really cool Lightbringer card.
Very
Right?
cool
Like
Lightbringer card. Yeah.
you play Lightbringer and then you play this, and it well, I guess it. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe that's not good. You waste your Lightbringer, like you'd kill your own Lightbringer, but
No, your Lightbringer is going to die anyway, because presumably you're playing it against something that's going to swing, right?
fair. I guess so, but I mean, at that point, it's like just play Nature's Wrath. I don't know. But if you're not in nature, then this is it's a cool AOE spell. Um, it's just I love the flavor of the time magic and the stuff. Like they did a really
Yeah,
good
for
job
sure.
designing these cards to like mess with like the timing and the action
Right.
manipulation and those types of things on all these cards.
And we've actually got a lot more. We haven't talked about it, but the cards, most of them have had flavor text, which we haven't seen a ton of on all the cards as far as I can remember. There was sort of like a period where a lot of the cards didn't have flavor text, but this one, I think almost every card so far has it. By the way, welcome, Bill. It's good to have you back. He says, I'd feel like I forget to do the effect when playing in person. Yeah, it's
is
one
tricky.
of the few cards that has that memory,
Memory. Yeah.
which can be tricky. There's another, yeah. There's another one that I think is worse for playing in person, but we'll get there. But I think this is interesting. I'm not sure how to maximize it yet. Obviously, it's a Tristan card. So what's kind of crazy is, you tsunami shot and then play this, and all their 2-lifers for sure die, but potentially their knight or anything else. And as long as you have a chump block down, they can't really do much.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they just swing the stuff then, and they get their value out of it anyway.
Well, if they're not,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
I think that's rather than this with Lightbringer, I think this is kind of like a pseudo Lightbringer, a way of dictating the tempo of the game. I think is
Yeah, maybe
interesting.
that's a better way to think about it. I mean, like, there's a natural time stopper combo here, right? Where you play this, and then they're like, "Oh crap, my thing's gonna die. I have to swing it," and then you'd play time stopper and stop it from swinging. And
Yeah, well, they need to summon
that's
something though
cool.
for you to get Time Stopper. I guess you could side
I guess
action
that's
and main
true, huh?
action the Time Stopper.
Yeah. I'd be curious to see how
Yeah.
people use this.
Yeah, that doesn't work either. Yeah, I don't know. This one hurts my brain.
All right, just as a long forgotten card, but that might actually have relevance. If this card actually gets used, does Sacred Ground become relevant? Because between actually Spearmaster and this, I could see a use case for being able to just shield all your units per round.
That's interesting. I'm not sure. I mean,
You mean as with this card or against this card or both?
I guess either one, theoretically, although no, not with this card. It's against this card.
why not
Okay.
with?
Which we would
Doesn't
say-
Sacred Ground protect until your turn?
Until the start of your next turn.
Yeah. So this
Okay, I guess that's
this
true.
would trigger.
Yeah, that's true.
So you could
Yeah,
have a
that's
ton
true.
of stuff. You play Sacred Ground.
But no,
play
you need 2 side actions though. You need to accelerate.
Oh, is Sacred Ground a side action?
Yeah, it's a ready spell with a side action.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's more just like, I don't know. You'd probably have to have some real.
Since we're already playing Lightbringer, Law of Fear, Rising Tides.
It's gross.
Yeah. Casey's frozen in a very comical.
Although
freeze
the other
frame.
thing that's dangerous about Rising Tides is like, okay, you play Rising Tides when I've got just say Conjurations. I just take that moment to drop an ally with After Image in my hand. Like it just you really know that something's going to happen. You can, I don't know. It's a weird card.
It is weird, but I think that's part of the like rule of ashes,
Charm.
right? Where the cards, well, because there's another card that's about to come up. The cards within the set answer their own problem. Like they create problems that they
Right.
answer their own problems. So we're getting to tranquility, which
Yeah.
by now, if the set wasn't apparent, most of the actions or most of the cards are side actions, and this is the silver bullet to all of that. Side action alteration spell for the Phoenixborn. Class cost at the end of your turn, place one status token on this spell. Then, if there are 3 or more status tokens on this spell, remove it from the game. The only side action you may take is meditate. So first, this is another dragon counter to some extent, but it's also like a counter to all the time cards so far, which is really interesting. And you play this with Dispel, and you can stop your opponent for 5 turns doing side actions.
Well, how many side actions do they need to do when you've wasted 40% of your first 5 on that garbage?
Well, not first 5. I mean, I wouldn't first 5 it, but
Okay.
you know, if
fair.
you're gonna
You can also
draw
just use
50
the-
cards,
You can also just use the time power, right? This is another point in Reimagine's
oh yeah,
favor,
Possibly.
right?
Yeah.
that's a good point.
This is a spell, right? So
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
you can remove a token from it, and it's the opponent controls it because you put it on their Phoenixborn.
it's a good point. I do think the thing I was thinking about was like blood puppets plus tranquility. So
Yeah.
that you just can't actually get rid of the blood puppets very easily.
Blood puppets, weeping spirits, gotta love those.
Oh yeah, weeping spirits. Yeah. It's a real killer you got there.
And
Well, I mean, it is typically pretty easy to get rid of a Weeping Spirit with their side action. Like Blood Puppets, I feel like a lot of times self-inflict isn't the way people
Right.
get Blood Puppets off the board.
True.
yeah, but I think weeping spirits, you know, like you play that with Tusk Rider, or I had a deck at one point. I think Fred and I made it where it was Mayoni weeping spirits, because it stops them from having blockers, but if they kill them, then it also feeds the snake, which was pretty
Right.
funny. But I mean, you could also do this with a bunch of things like Tranquility, Law Fear, Tranquility, Kneel. Just stop them doing anything. Like, okay, you
That's mean.
meditate. Like, you can't do anything else. Because, I mean, just wait, is it the next one? Yeah. These basically are comboed. Fatal Strike,
Right.
reaction spell, power side. You may play this spell after an opponent takes a pass action. Deal 2 damage to a target unit or Phoenixborn that opponent controls. So these are very much built as a combo piece, which is really cool. The art is good. Rowan's dying. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
But one thing that I started thinking about immediately was because of blood puppets, because of things like Ruin Dweller and the Fire Archer with Aftermage and a bunch of other stuff, I think Time Ceremonial has probably a very strong case for a good burn deck now.
No, that's interesting.
It was already pretty good as a burn deck.
That's true.
It was, but I
Yeah.
think it's even better now.
And Jessa.
Agreed.
Yeah. And Jessa.
I don't even. I mean,
pretty nasty.
in a bunch of places, I think.
Yeah, but
Rome could do it too.
True.
Yeah, there's
the other thing,
a lot.
Fatal Strike. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think Kneel is a really interesting card with Fatal Strike. I think Kneel in general is really nasty, and like just main action denial is pretty cool with Fatal Strike. I'm excited to see excited / not excited to see the kind of brutal stuff you can do when you just stack multiple sweepers and kneels with Fatal Strike.
Well, I think
You go
like
like
you play Fatal
Rising
Strike.
Tides.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
I was thinking you're in you're in Charm, Divine, and Time. So Light Swordsman is another card that I think After Image is really good with because they want to kill it so that you don't get the value again, and you're already probably pressuring guard if not removing a unit with Quick Strike. So
it's true.
you have that down. It's exhausted, which then means if they kill it, you After Image. If they don't kill it, you kneel like they're trying to build up a counter swing. You kneel the board. And then you're in Charm, so you have access to Sympathy Pains and Fatal Strikes. That's your new burn package, which is pretty awesome, along with I think a good amount of just board presence between those colors as well.
Rising
Do you
Tides
go
with
like, do you go like
D-
Rising Tides pass? To like
right.
bait your opponent into passing just so you can Fatal Strike them?
That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's bad play, but I think it's hilarious.
Fred or Fritz, I started to keep track. They were mentioning Glaciate, or with two shadows. What's the other one? Deep Freeze. Deep Freeze is the one that requires you to take actions to.
Yeah, that's good with Tranquility. Because you need side actions to remove the tokens on Deep Freeze.
I just think these cards, other than Vermilion Sage, which is fairly vanilla, and this is something I want to do with you guys after we cover the last one. There's just so much fun. Like there's good. The cards are good themselves, and I'm gonna guarantee that a lot of these see very strong competitive play. But I also think you can just build so many different fun ideas. They fit in a lot of different ways. The whole tempo aspect, playing around with things like that, the surprise reaction of it is all very cool. I'm excited. So now we get to the uniques.
Signature cards.
Signatures, yes. Starting with Jericho, another 1.0
And there's
card.
only 3 of them. Super interesting.
Yeah. Double edge, side action. So something else that Tranquility shuts down. Draw 2 cards, discard 1 card from your hand. If you discarded, deal 1 damage to a target unit an opponent controls, and deal 1 damage to that opponent's target Phoenixborn. So there you go. You were thinking, Jessa, why not play Jericho Burn?
Free damage is really hard to not like in a game like Ashes. I don't know. It seems crazy to me.
Yeah.
Cards are pretty, at this point, even these cards. I mean, a deck with Memorialize, Allies, Double Edge, like, I don't know. Just cycling this thing a lot seems...
Cycle this thing and the burn cards, right?
Right. And then, especially if you're discarding Allies, restock them with that Divinity spell, Resurrection Pact.
Yep.
Right? So, like, you can just keep stuff cycling through, and this thing is...
And, I mean, you also
quite
have...
nasty.
I mean, you also have like
Souls.
Memorialize plus Cerulean Diver to like cycle it and draw it immediately. Plus Jericho can auto focus Cerulean Diver in the first round with Prepare. So then you get a couple diver pings. You get a ping from this thing. You get whatever else you're doing with your first 5. I think Fritz was talking in Discord earlier about a first 5 with this and Cerulean Diver, and you have enough dice for like 2 nights still, or something, because this card's free.
Because it's free, which is crazy.
And like you think about it, like if you, I guess if you first 5 Memorialize, which you probably couldn't in that, in the double night open, right? Like you can draw it with Diver. You just get 2 of these in the first round, and you're drawing a bunch more cards too.
I mean, you don't even have to you don't. So Swift Messenger, Vermilion Sage. I mean, but you could have Swift Messenger, Vermilion Sage, Cerulean Diver. This like you don't have to first five memorialize.
No, you probably draw
You
into
can,
it. Yeah.
yeah, you're drawing like 5 cards, 6 cards.
I also
Again, these first fives where you draw a million cards, I don't understand. They break me because I never get what I want.
yeah,
I get mad.
neither do I.
Maybe you should put better cards in your deck. Why'd you put cards you don't want in your deck?
It's fair.
I think that now I'm stuck on burn. This is what happens when you're
Oh, boy.
Brainicus of the year 2025. With this card and with Memorialize and some of the burn spells, and then you can also still be in Divine in a single charm, like on top of the, you can play all the sympathy cards you want, but you can still have Kneel. You just play like a nasty game of like forcing them to do nothing, pass, and then meanwhile, anytime they do swing at your allies, you're just recurring either free ping or your burn cards, and then not recollect, whatever the stupid divine spell is that recurs them. Rally the troops? No, that's the wrong one.
Revival Pact.
Revival Pact.
Not not Resurrection Pact. Revival Pact. I mean, yeah.
There's so much
Burn
fun.
loves draw, right? So
Yeah.
even if you didn't lean into all those crazy shenanigans we talked about and just wanted to stock your deck with Sympathy Pains and Final Cries, this is still a really good card in that deck. Really good.
Yeah, it does. It burns and it draws you into those cards.
Right.
I'd probably also
I see
play.
a lot of downside.
I'd probably play Lion, just because Lion gives you an alert unit. It's in Divine.
Oh
You
yeah,
could
I
probably-
forget what that does now.
You could probably run a 2-1 split with Blink so that you have a refresh, especially if you're running something like Memorialize to recur it. But then Lion is also subtly a burn card because it's like Ceratosaurus. It's got the overkill. So, while you're sitting back and doing whatever, you then still have the ability to play overkill damage.
Did we get where? Sorry, random logistical question. When are we getting a reprint, like a fixed print of Emperor Lion? Is it in this cycle, or did we get it already?
I thought we already did. Did we not?
I don't remember if it was in the sympathy deck or not. I'd have to go look.
I don't play with physical. They're on my shelf still in plastic wrap. So
yeah, exactly. All right. Anyway,
All right.
I think Double Edge is really good. Do you think Jericho is the best? Improves the most?
Improve the most of this set or of all Phoenixborn?
Of all Phoenixborn with this set, most improved.
Of all Phoenixborn with this set,
know.
those are separate. No, like
Koji likes this set.
Koji was, yeah. I guess Koji was already pretty good though. No.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like I never see Jericho.
I think Jericho is going to get a huge bump. I think Lulu might come back to see some good play. I think all these cards, honestly, just they give a lot to a good variety of Phoenixborn.
Oh, and you don't need to first five memorialize in Jericho because you prepare and then play Double Edge.
That as well. All right, Tristan's. Summon Ocean Eyes, so it's a ready spell. For a main action and 2 basics, place 2 Ocean Eye Conjurations onto your battlefield. The Ocean Eye is a limit of 6. It's a 1/1/0. Sting 1 is the ability. When this unit is declared as an attacker, you may deal 1 damage to a target wounded unit. So, in that regard, it's kind of like Bone Crow, where it deals extra damage to a wounded unit, except in this case it's a ping damage rather than just buffing the unit. And this doesn't have fade, unlike Tetra's, Tristan's other semi-unique card, but it's still got 6 as a conjuration limit, which is kind of cool. And you could magnify 3 of these, and all of a sudden it becomes deal 2 damage to wounded unit. So you could blow up knights and other stuff really pretty easily.
I feel like you need to have it. Like you need to have something else swinging with it that does damage. Like I don't. I'm not a huge fan of this card, but I'm open to be proved wrong. I mean, obviously, if you swung it with like an Ember Root Lizard,
Or
that's
Cinder
really
Spirit.
cool.
But why do
Or a
you
Cinder,
don't
I
need the
guess.
you don't need the damage when you're swinging. There's like
No,
a
but
bajillion
Yeah,
things.
no,
You,
but
Casey's
you
point.
you play this, you play Fork Lightning. You play this, you play Reverb. You play
yeah, I guess there is a lot of side action, do a couple damage things now.
you play Rising Tides while you're doing something else, and then everything's got
No, that doesn't
damage.
work.
No, not
Play
when
it
you
the
drop
turn
this.
before.
You play something else. You play the turn before. You play Rising Tides. So then
I don't think
everything
that's
that they
what
have
I-
is well.
Like
I know
main
that's
action,
why you're not a
summon two
top
of
10
these.
player.
I mean, main action summon 2 of these. Side action Rising Tides is actually kind of interesting.
Fine, play Sacred Ground in this.
Yeah, I don't understand why anyone. I mean, aside from just pure novelty, which I get, but like, I don't know. Tristan is like. I like playing Tristan in part because Tsunami Shot is like the dumbest, most obvious card to play in so many situations. It's like this card takes so much more thinking power to extract value from.
Does it?
I don't know.
It's Misty's. It's a better Misty's effectively. You get you're getting 2 bodies for 2 basics. You can.
I guess that's true. Even if
you're
you never get the stings, you just get bodies.
sure, and I don't see any reason. I mean, again, if you're thinking in the context of the precons, this also pairs really well with Tusk Rider because you're already going to be playing double. Or well, sorry, if I'm thinking about the cards that I would play, once I start playing the campaign, Double Down comes into play, and then you've got multiple double down targets, which you just go swinging and doing a ton of damage. Like there's almost always a unit with a wound.
Like,
is there?
I don't know if there really is, and that's
well, it's
the
either
other thing.
it's either they're 1-lifers, in which case there's a bajillion ways to kill 1-lifers, or they're playing tankier units, whether that's 2 life or more, right? But then you're fine.
But I guess,
Except I just want to kill those as soon as they. I mean, I don't want to leave them around for. I don't know. Sorry.
Like you have to, if you have to do Fork Lightning or Reverberate, get your damage, then you can't also magnify them.
What are you talking
That
about?
annoys me.
Point.
Oh, well, okay.
That's
sure,
another good argument for swinging it alongside a Cinder Spirit or Ember Root Lizard.
Right. That's what I knew, like, when you said that, I was like, wait a minute, I had a counter argument to this, and I couldn't remember it. It took me a little while.
Fritz says his hot take is that this is one of the best cards of the set.
Oh, god damn it. That means I'm wrong.
And Fred says, I mean, that's an
wrong, too.
insane understatement. So, there you go.
It's an insane understatement. That's the best, one of the best cards.
This I'm just reading what's going on. Bill.
All right. Well, if they're so smart, why don't they just buy a mic and go on a podcast? I mean, come on.
I just replace you. I'm just a platform. I'll replace you guys. Pop them on here.
Probably would be a good idea. I mean,
and you don't need Magnify with it. It's still 2 units swinging and getting 2 free pings.
That's true. It's the same thing I always make a mistake on with Ashes, which is like, it's always the little increments of value that are most powerful in this game. But
yeah, you're right. You're right about that. And maybe that is the trick, right? You just don't magnify these things, and you just side action, Fork Lightning, main action, swing 2 of these.
Well,
and
I do think
3 life unit. It's like,
I think magnifying is very possible. I mean, I think so. For example,
Fred has said that this is better than Clashing Tempers. This is his favorite new card.
Okay, Cinder Spirit needs another unit. Again, you need the 2 bodies here are helpful for Cinder Spirit, right? Because it gives you 2 units that, unless they have a sweeper, you're almost certain to get that status token shifted off the ready spell to bring your Cinder Spirit in. I guess you can't swing in the turn that you summon the Cinder Spirit with this, with Magnify. But you can swing the Cinder Spirit with the Ocean's Eye. I think that's probably a pretty obvious play.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, you could do both.
It's probably just good to play Fork Lightning or Reverberate or Clashing Tempers or just Frog and swing this. Like that's probably just good. And I would need to see it in practice and know how much I, miss not only not including a third tsunami shot in my deck, but also not including it in my first 5 to play this thing.
I very rarely play Tsunami Shot my first 5 anyway.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I feel like I always first 5 tsunami shot.
That's why I just think it's always so obvious, so people play around it. Like they just, you play anything that just.
I mean, if you have root armor, that's one way to play around it. But like, you can only root armor one thing.
Yeah. Well,
what else are you? How else are you getting? Like, tsunami shot's gonna get some kind of value.
Well, no, but it's also about the sequencing of stuff. If you're playing 2 life units and it's like, okay, so they like, you play a Cobra or something else and it's like they remove it after the fact, you've already gotten your value.
Yeah, it's a swing, but you still.
You play Celestial Knight, Root Armor, Hammer Knight, and
okay, well then you win. Like that's fine.
Phantom Transfusion
and
is really
Particle
good with
Shield
these too.
Something
like
Transfusion doesn't even exist anymore. That's not a real card. Nobody plays that.
Yeah, no one's played that since.
Why?
Since it was the most broken card in the format.
Yeah,
everybody just was like, "We're over this."
I think I saw Brian or someone else play it, or Redentor. He was still playing it, but it hasn't been seen that often, which is crazy because it's so good. But yeah.
See, this is my moment. I just have to wait until the good cards that I can't play because everyone else is playing them have fallen out of favor, and then I get to play them. That can be, yeah. All right.
So let's talk about Cataclysm.
Fred said Tsunami Shot isn't even that good of a card, but anyway. All right.
Okay.
No, God.
Fred's getting crazy. It's late.
Can I? Okay, I'm saving the stupidest card for after. I don't want to get angry yet. Cataclysm, Rowan's card. Basic a main action 2 basic action spell. Deal 1 damage to all units and Phoenixborn. If this destroys at least 2 units, place 2 Rubble Spirit Conjurations onto your battlefield. This is crazy. I originally was like, and then like 30 seconds to a minute later, as I started thinking of all the possibilities, it's actually a really cool card. Now, it is a card, I think, that is a complete side shift in that you're either on the Discovery path or you're on Cataclysm, playing a completely different deck. In particular, probably a Fatigue deck or similar. But I just think that this is a really good value. It's an AoE plus damage plus mill for 2 basic.
I agree. This card seems crazy. Seems good. I mean, to be able to clear a bunch of things and then replenish your own battlefield immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, Morning Dove. Imagine just Morning Doves, or sorry, not Morning Doves.
Orchid Doves.
What are they called? Orchid Doves with this thing.
Yeah.
You play a bunch of Orchid Doves, Cataclysm, just immediately replace them. Mill a million.
Right, and mill a lot of cards right away.
And you can even double down only works on opponent spell. But yeah, like one of the problems Rowan can in theory have is getting clogged. And so being able to then unclog your board, and those units could be allies, which then you could also conscript.
Totally.
Right? And
hollows.
So hollows, exactly. I think there's going to be quite a mean Fatigue deck.
Yeah, I was trying to think earlier. Like, I didn't like this card because there were I was like, what ally do you conscript? and Exhume that you want in this fatigue type deck, but maybe Hollow's the right one.
I think honestly, Halls and Fire Archers, like what there's nothing wrong with, the classic problem with
Or just
fatigue
Rising
decks.
Horde, right?
Rising Horde is the obvious one because it's so they're not going to want to give you the units right away, but you can at least get 5 plus. You're getting an AOE and you're getting the 2 Rebel Spirits out. Like it's a lot of value.
And that Rising Horde just gums up the board and it helps your mill plan, right? Because it just slows them down. They can't punch through all the zombies.
Yeah.
And if you use them to swing and you end up clogging yourself up with 1/1s, you can Cataclysm all the way.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, I might actually have to try Rowan. I can't stand Rowan, but this will be a type of deck that I can actually figure out a little bit.
I think this will actually, Rowan. I've never been able to really crack, but I think this card is actually going to unlock him for me. And playing with, does After Image work with Rising Horde? I think it does.
Yeah, I think so.
You'd get the 2
if you
tokens,
can get them to kill it,
and then you get the Horde back, and then you could play it again. Then they destroy it. Then it goes, and you can script it. You
Yeah.
play it again.
100%.
Yeah.
or
I mean,
Cataclysm because you're clogged with zombies.
yeah, and then Cataclysm. And maybe in the meantime, I mean, you don't even have to play a fatigue deck. You could just use, in the same way that in the past I've used Leo as incidental mill, or like, a Ruby Cobra can be incidental mill just to help you out. You could play a burn deck with this, or you could play an aggro deck with it. I think there's a lot.
All right,
very
cool.
cool.
Saved the best for last.
Oh boy. Okay. Let's talk about it. Realization, ready spell. This is it works. Side action, free. During the draw card step, you may draw 1 additional card. Whoopee! Side action, exhaust. If your draw pile is empty, shuffle your discard pile. Reveal 1 random card from it and remove it from the game. Then reveal another random card from it and add it to your hand. Okay, I'm going to start with the positives. The artwork on this card is gorgeous. It could easily be a playmat. It's really good. All right, that's all I have.
All right, sounds good.
We did it.
What else do we want to talk about tonight?
Positives. It doesn't cost any dice. I mean, I kind of think you should get dice back for playing this.
Also, it doesn't do anything.
It does. It's so. I don't get it. Like, people kept talking about it, and it's card negative round 1 because you don't get a card back until round 2. And then even if you get all the way to an empty draw pile, I think possibly there's 2 really horrible things about this. One is that it's reveal a random card and add it to your hand. Like, I don't know why, if you're going through all of this, that it couldn't at least be, pick a card. Or like some I think Fred had offered some suggestion of like reveal a certain number of random cards in order to pick a card or something like that. But it does nothing for your end game. It just causes you to lose your pile faster. And then if you're playing this in person, 1 alone would be bad. But if you're playing 2 or 3 copies of this, you have to shuffle your discard pile every friggin' time. This would drive me nuts.
It's not going to be that big of a deal.
I
mean,
I
are
already
you
hate.
really going to bust the balls of your opponent while they're shuffling their discard to get to this card? I mean, you've won the game.
To discard a random, to discard a random card so they can get.
Realization into
This
play.
is so stupid. I don't get it. Okay, Fritz, I'm very curious. He has 1 deck this might be insane in, heavy emphasis on might. So the only deck I could think that this would be So, and the other thing is you're giving up the only thing Orc has ever had, which is an end game win condition. Because you're probably, I mean, maybe
Right.
you run this plus 2 concentrations, but then I don't understand.
The only thing I could think of when I was looking at this was like the discard all your cards decks, like, you know, for recollect and things like that,
Yeah,
and
but then
memorialize.
it's like it's
But-
random.
Right, you might end up removing the ready spell that you want to go recollect the other copies of. So like, I don't understand why you do this.
So, like, okay. I don't. I think I suggested, like, what happens if you just run 3 realization, 3 abundance, 3 gates, and I don't know, some other garbage. Like, you just keep, you just try for the abundance win. I don't know. Is that a thing?
I think the right thing. No, I don't think it is, but I think the right thing is you play all the stuff that slows the game down.
Well, and 3
But
Neils.
I mean, that's
yeah.
what Orc did anyway. Yeah, like that's what Orc did anyway with concentration, right? Like this is the same.
3 Law of
Like,
Fears.
I guess that's like Oric's thing is he wants to just chill and he wants the game to last forever.
Asterix was thinking that this was the bee's knees, and he's like, "Oh, this is Orc's already great for burn, so this is going to be even better." And I was trying to like,
why? Because you get an extra card in your hand, and you
recur
get a
burn
burn spell
cards?
back.
well,
Like,
I guess you have to have your whole hand filled with burn. I don't know. Maybe if you're playing like Auric 3 Frostbites, like things. What else could you have? That Dream Fracture. If you're playing like 3 Frostbites, 3 Dream Fractures, then the whole burn suite of Sympathy Pains, Final Cries, because those are the cards that you're gonna want to guarantee that randomly
you're gonna
you get
first
one
5
back.
this in that deck. Like,
No, well, I don't know. I don't know how you first 5 this. I don't know how you have to do something. Maybe you play a ton of divers as well, so that you're drawing and pinging. It's a very I don't know. I think there's gonna be like maybe 1 to 2 decks that this is mediocre in, and even then, I don't even see this as a fun card. Like, if anything, this is just irritating on both sides. I don't get it. The irony of it being called realization, and I cannot. Oh, memory theft. Thanks, Fritz. Yeah, memory theft is another burn. It's just so stupid. So okay, so you play 3 memory theft, 3 frostbites, 3 dream fractures, the suite of final cries and sympathy pains, and fatal strikes.
what do you do when your opponent plays a unit?
Well, fatal strike and Neils. So they can't.
The realization is that you fucked up. That's
Yeah,
the realization.
they can't play anything, or Law of Fear. Like you play just a degenerate. They can't swing, or they can't put units down, and then you play Fatal Strike and what I don't know. I really don't know. Is there a world where you only play this as a 1 or 2 of?
Isn't there already a ready spell that lets you draw an extra card at the beginning of your draw?
Foresight.
Foresight.
Yeah.
And it's never played.
And it's never been played, and it's also free.
Or Changing Winds?
And
doesn't that do something similar?
I think Foresight's ability might be better than this. Like, what does Foresight even do after you? I think it might be a better card.
It's 1 extra draw. It's like the exact same thing, other than the side action ability.
Oh, it does.
It's like the Vermilion Sage ability.
Yeah,
it's got the Vermilion Sage ability, basically.
Okay, I thought it was free. I was be very. So this is like a. This is a free Foresight that makes you harder to fatigue.
Yeah, I think in a 30, when you're playing with a 30 card deck, like enough good cards, like I think that's where the brute force draw strategies work. You don't need filtered draw, you just need a lot of draw. Like the 30 card deck with this card pool, after 7 rounds now of introducing a bunch of better cards than we've ever had, and I'm not saying there's power creep, more just there's more synergy built into these sets. You just don't need filtered draw, you just need draw. So I don't know.
Okay, but like
I don't
even let's say that because Carl thinks that if this was not a unique, if it was not an orc, it could be somewhat good.
Wow.
In a world where alchemist
in a world
in a world where alchemist exists, in a world where Ramia exists, what why would you ever play orc with this card? Ramia, at least, first of all, Ramia is getting 2 free cards every turn or every round from the get-go. So you're ahead on cards even compared to realization over the course of 4 rounds. And then on top of that, she actually has 2 uniques. The only difference is that she has 4 less life, right? Oh, and 1 less spell board. She's got 4 spell board? I forget. Like, that's it. That's why would you not
and a
play
bigger battlefield. Was she not?
5?
Oh, she's
They're
got
the
5 more.
same.
Okay.
So it's like, why would you not play Ramia over that?
Because you're a big Avatar: The Last Airbender fan?
I don't know.
I feel like you have to get something out of the second part of this ability for it to work, and that the randomness takes all that away. Like,
Yeah,
you
that's
would
the
have
problem, the
to
randomness.
is there some world where you play the garbage
Well,
cards that remove other stuff from your your ringside pile? It's a different card game. From your
Cricket?
like, you take all the bad stuff out of your discard pile, and then the only thing left is what you want. Like,
So what, you're
I
playing
don't know.
cricket or purge against yourself? That doesn't make
Weeping Spirit focus. I'm just
well,
grasping at straws here, man,
it's
because
yeah,
I don't know what else to do with it.
it's
I-
the
Angel.
it's the requirement that your draw deck be empty. The randomness would be fine actually if you didn't have to have an empty draw deck, because then it opens up the things that you can do with cricket, where you're like, if you're really carefully kind of controlling what's in your discard, cricket can be interesting in forcing your opponent to give you back
Yeah.
stuff you want. But how do you get an empty draw deck without putting a bunch
Your
without
whole
creating the
deck is
randomness in the
your whole
discard?
deck is ready spells.
It has to be. You
And
have
you
to have
play
15 ready
Recollect
spells.
and Essence Druid and Moon's Blessing, and you take them all back.
No, but you wouldn't even do that because then you don't want those cards. Like, if those cards are the ones that you randomly draw at the end of it, then those do nothing for you. You have to play 15 ready spells. You don't really want Recollect, because once Recollect is in your hands, it's useless. You want 15 allies and burn
Playing
spells.
15 ready spells, that means you're playing 3 copies of Realization. You do realize that.
No, that's what. Yeah.
So
I
you
don't.
need 15 ready spells, and 3 of them need to be realizations.
And
I mean,
anything you
come
do,
on.
like the whole idea of memorialized decks or recollect or revival pack decks, like or decks that use those tricks, even Metamorpher, Fiona's card, right? Which once it's focused, you start putting cards back in. Like, it gives her the anti mill, but useful. This is a random card, and if you put a card back in your draw pile, it then turns off the card, and the card does nothing.
Okay, let's think about this in a different way.
It's
Let's think
driving me
about it
nuts.
like okay, let's think about it like um you turn your discard into your draw pile, right? So you meditate your entire deck. In so doing, as Auric, you get to pick one card, or card you want,
Mm-hmm.
back in. So you get a first 6. Well, it basically replaces itself in the first 5 with Auric. So
You
you're
don't
going to
get to pick
meditate.
any card you want though,
Oh, wait,
because
so when you stop meditating,
it's only you only get the
No, you only
The
get the
last
choice
card?
on
First card.
each. No, it's
Right.
when you meditate, you
It
choose.
has to be the first card you flip over.
Yeah. So yeah, you
So, like-
basically
oh,
you
it's
do
the
it.
first card. Right.
So you're
Okay.
only meditating one at a time. So you need enough main actions. It's not like you can just go through like
right.
I'm going to
Or
meditate
you get
5.
you get the first card. You get the first card
Yeah.
you've meditated. All right, but anyway, you put it all into your discard pile. Yeah, that I don't understand why Auric would ever want to dump his deck into his discard pile for the reason that then you turn off Auric's ability for the rest of the game because you can't
you don't get
meditate
Orc's
from the
ability
draw
anymore.
pile.
You also don't get the first part of realization either.
Yeah, you turn off the card itself. The card itself is the whole additional draw, but it's only during the draw step. If you play, okay, let's say you play Carl's draw 10 cards at the beginning of the game. So you get 3 copies of this. So then finally, does that do something? That means from round 2 on, if you haven't already lost, you're drawing 3 additional cards. Right?
I mean, I think maybe that's the point, is like you're trying to play a deck that both, number one, slows the game down long enough for the first part of realization to pay off, and also draws your deck out fast enough for the second part of realization to pay off. And both of those things need to happen before you're dead.
Yeah. And
And
the other problem is,
that's
so
just difficult.
it's also just this does not move him sideways. This does not move him, definitely doesn't move him up. But like, why wasn't it a different style? Like, I just don't get the design of this card. I don't. Every other ability has been either complementary to their ability or their traditional game style, or it's been, let's give a completely different thing. Now that doesn't always work, like with Venom Strike. Sometimes it competes so hard against something that they had that was amazing that isn't necessarily a better choice, like Playtime, but can still be very good in and of itself. But this is just none of those.
I wonder if there's a world where pretty soon the rules change and now we're just allowed to play all 6 uniques.
Well,
now that everybody has 6.
Let's take a quick.
I still don't even know if that's good, right?
We have an advertising moment where we can advertise No Such Methods collection box format, right, which I think is going to be very cool. He's put a lot of work into designing all these precons, and the one thing that's interesting about that format is he's actually allowing all uniques to be played. So a lot of his decks that he's displayed so far have all six uniques, which is pretty cool. But yeah, even with that, this does nothing. I don't think. I don't know. You're spending so many dice to do nothing.
If there were more payoffs,
well, you're not spending any dice to do nothing, right? You just
like maybe Ascendancy is going to bring payoffs for having an empty deck or having a lot of cards in your hand or something, right? Like maybe
not in what we've seen so far.
Yeah,
I mean, right now there's no reason to have no cards in your deck. There's not enough. Like, you can't efficiently enough use your deck, your discard pile as your draw pile. I don't think. I mean, I've seen Bowman do it with Xander Recollect stuff, but that was when Fallen was a thing. I just don't think there's enough.
And I think the anti-synergy with Recollect is kind of impossible.
It's anti-synergy with everything. That's the problem. Like, it's anti-synergy with Memorialize too. I guess if you never have more than 5 cards that you're recurring into your draw pile, which means that or actually 8. No, yeah, 8 cards. If you never recur,
I guess I would
you'd
like
always
to
have
hear
an
a
empty draw pile.
Tester. I didn't play test these cards, but I would love to hear a play tester come on and say, like,
I love the two of you are like, I'd love to hear from a play tester.
I'd love to hear from an active playtester.
Yeah.
I'm technically on the team, but I haven't play tested in a long time, unfortunately.
I I don't want.
I would
Yeah.
love to hear from Nick. Like like what's the idea with this? What were the testers doing that made it so we had to like it had to be random cards or this was too good? Or like what is the direction behind it? I
But
can't
even
I
if
can't
you
think through it.
specifically chose a card, which there are already other cards that do that, like
Not for free.
no, not for free, but like those at least don't have the hoop of your draw pile needs to be empty. Like if you're playing Shared Sorrow, you're swapping a specific card, but you can do that any point during the game, and you still get damage out of it. This is you don't get damage, you don't get an end game condition, you lose a card from the game, you purge a random card, and then you draw a random card. I don't know. I want so badly to be proven wrong. I want to see this win a tournament because I just want to be wrong that Oric is not. I don't know. Between Oric and Nominee, I just cannot understand how so many other Phoenix born that were initially C tier, mid, not great. Everything from Rin, Vicky, Symboli, whatever. Like everyone got a bump. This Jericho, we just saw like Jericho hasn't been played all that much. She's got a great second card. This is terrible. I don't get it. And Fred just said it's not even good in PvE. That's true. I don't understand. Like, what does this do for you against the Chimera? We haven't seen the Chimera, I guess, but against all the other Chimera, what does this do for you?
I don't know. I feel like there's something like I look at this card and I look at Surging Tempest and I think to myself like what am I missing that makes it so that like this like free drawing of cards is that good, like good enough to take these guys to the next level? Like am I missing something?
That's what I
Right?
feel dumb. I feel like
Yeah.
someone is like has to Red King at least, I think Surging Tempest maybe has an argument that it could be useful, and I'd love to see him play it because I know that he breaks things. He hasn't said anything in the Discord, which is curious, but he hasn't talked about this card. I'd love to know how he thinks he would use this or break it. And Fritz, I definitely want to see whatever your deck is. Like, share it because I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know. All right, last thing because we're getting close to 2 hours. This is the end of Red Reigns.
The Jankyard. Oh, sorry.
So first let's do a quick. What's your favorite card from this specific set?
My favorite card's Tusk Mount.
Okay.
I just think it's super cool.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see if I can build mill decks alongside of a freaking big elephant.
Okay. Sven?
Well, that's what I was gonna say, but I will pick Aftera Mage.
Okay, I was gonna pick.
Funny. So, yeah, we should tell the story, right? Because I didn't. I was telling it off the air.
Yeah.
I forgot that this was a reaction spell.
Forgot how to read.
After it got yeah, well, I did.
Aftera Mage.
And then I was thinking it was like a unit. And I kept seeing people in the Discord talking about it. And I just like I didn't understand how it was pronounced. I thought it was some kind of mage. So in my head I was calling it like an Aftera Mage or whatever. Like and
I love it.
Right before the stream today, I was reading the card and I was like, holy crap, it's pronounced After Image. Now I get it.
Okay, well so if we're going down the list then to not copy each other's answers because After Image I think would be mine. I think Time Stopper. I'm very curious about that, but that would probably be my third.
That's a really cool card.
It's really tight though because Spearmaster is super cool, and so is I think I don't yet have it in my brain to exploit Cinder Spirit, but Spearmaster and what's the one? Not fetal strike. Fatal strike.
Fetal strike.
Damn. It's because True Lulzar
Abortion.
said it in chat. And he's like, fetal strike. And I'm like, that's the wrong typo. All right. So then quickly, okay, so those are the favorites. Now that we have, everyone's got a second unique, everyone's got cards that have side buffed them or buffed them by proxy. Who are the biggest losers and winners of the existing card pool?
Are we counting, changes to not just new card releases, but
Yeah, errata.
changes to abilities, errata? I mean,
Yeah.
Brennan's the biggest loser to me by a long shot. I mean,
yeah, just
from
like statistically.
meta dominant to complete afterthought.
Yeah, and the winner is Rimia, but by contrast,
Rimia, because I could see people saying Demona just based off of Dragon.
Yeah, Demona.
She was, I think, until these time cards got printed.
Yeah. And a potential chain, you never know. Chains could they typically follow a set, an update.
If we chain Dragon this right after we printed Time Stopper, that's just ridiculous.
How to chain your dragon?
Yeah, we need to
how to chain your dragon. For a while. That's a good one.
Okay, so yeah, those are probably pretty good. Because there's so many. Like Koji got a huge bump, which was awesome. Rin, arguably, but it's really tough to separate the player from the deck. Got one
Victoria
of the biggest bumps
too.
Well, I say Rin specifically just because Fred has been so dominant with Rin specifically, but yeah, Vicky got a huge bump, which was awesome. What is your favorite like jank, I guess? What's your most fun card out of, let's just say, Red Rains? Was it, or even just what's your favorite card? We got to stick something. We're jank players. We can't just be competitive players. What is the card that you have the most fun with? Going all the way back to what is it? Red Rain Ceremonial.
Mine's Magnificence. That card's amazing. So much fun.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. It's a pretty boring card, but I think it's one that I really like to play around with, which is From Darkness, just as like cool utility reaction that also shapes play patterns in interesting ways. I like those things that encourage you to get more value earlier in a round and then see if you can stack later.
Yeah, I think From Darkness is just really fun. Man, Backflip is another. So I think it tends to be Illusion and potentially Time now that have just a lot of fun shenanigans. So things like From Darkness and Backflip are really interesting, even if they're not always the strongest. And other surprises like Gates Defender is another one. But one that I had fun for a while with was I guess it's technically a combo, but Hippo River Colossus with like Magnificence or Body Inversion or whatever. So it's just so much fun to flip it and go. And so yeah, that one's been sort of fun on my list. Is there anything that you think is either something that you haven't played that you're like, oh, I actually think I need to explore this more, or that is undervalued as a whole? Like there are cards that I still haven't even really tried to play too much with, like Shroud or Transmogrify. I don't even think I've played with all the uniques because I don't tend to play all the Phoenixborn. So.
Yeah, I just haven't played enough Ashes lately to know, but there's so many cards that I need to I need to screw around with some. A lot of the Moon Cove stuff I haven't really given a fair shake. I've watched a lot, like I've seen a lot, but just haven't. I don't know. I don't have a good answer.
Okay. I'd love to hear in the
I mean, there's
comments
some-
too.
You know what it is? It's Gifted Rose. That's the card that I haven't tried. I've played Leo. He's my second most played Phoenixborn. I've played it so much of him, and I've never ever played Gifted Rose. So I need to try that card, and I will with Tusk Mount because I think this is a cool place to put it in.
Yeah, I mean, I never played. I liked Lulu a lot before this cycle. She wasn't in my top 3. She was always around my top 5. I've just like never played her with Stamina Burst. Like I've never really tried to build a Stamina Burst deck, and I think there's some really cool timing tools with and swing tools with this collection of cards from this latest cycle. So I'm excited to explore Lulu with this new stuff.
I'm actually surprised. Well, yeah, I'm partly surprised you said that because I would have expected you to mention Dark Reflection, since I know that you loved playing Symboli so much for a while and trying to figure her out.
Yeah, I like Symboli. And I think Symboli will really like some of the new cards too, especially the Spearmaster. But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I was on a Ramia kick for a while.
I kind of got Symbolied out before this new set, and Dark Reflection didn't really inspire me to get back into it.
No, not even with the card you just mentioned from Darkness.
I know. From Darkness and Dark Reflection are great together.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay. And if you had to rank the top 2 and bottom 2 dice types now, because it used to be nature was king of them all, hence Frog Up, our original slogan. Where do you, and I think probably could be argued that time was among the worst at the time. Maybe even Divine wasn't great. Who or where do you rank things now?
I'd say Divine and Nature are still the strongest. I think Charm's the worst, but I'm not sure what the second worst is. Just my gut, but what my gut says.
Feels like they've all generally gotten narrower.
Yeah, I think the gap is a lot smaller than it once was, for sure.
Yeah, I think Charm might, I think, still be the worst. Actually,
I don't know if this.
I mean, I would have said Time before the cycle, but I think the cycle. Like, I think one of the hardest things has been for me that some of the coolest time cards that we got were really status token focused, and a lot of them keyed off of things like Tidal Crab. And Tidal Crab got so held down, it seems to me, by something like Silver Paladin, for example, that feels like it's been kind of hard to explore some of those time cards, and these open new avenues to play around with time cards that are not as prone to that.
There's a lot of zero attack hate, like Scrawler, Inkspill, Clashing Tempers, right. Paladin. There's a few others. I would say that the top 2 now are Sympathy and Divine. It's a close call. It could still be Nature, but I think Sympathy is really good. I think the worst is Charm and potentially even Ceremonial now.
That's crazy. How can the color with Old Salt be?
It's tough. I guess maybe my own bias, because I really love a lot of what Illusion has. I don't know how much Illusion the RR Red Rain's Illusion set bumped it up, so it could be Illusion. And and it's also recency bias. Like we just haven't seen a ton. There's
Yeah.
the nice thing is that there's been staples from every single set. So even as weak as Charm was, or Red Rain's Charm was, there were certain staples that are game defining or game changing. So whether it's uniques like Willpower, which really gave like Saria boost, or Farewell, um, or what you want to call it? What was the summon? Not Badger,
Merwing.
Shimmerwing, things like that. There's there's definitely cards that are just forever going to be good, and I think Rose Gardener, interestingly, is going to take a step up given this new set. But yeah,
Yeah.
probably still
Do some trimming,
it it got a little hurt.
some pruning.
Fritz thinks ceremonial is even better than nature. Interesting. I want to see Fritz and Fred fight it out. Judgment. I mean,
totally
like, so
forgot.
it's interesting. Like the
Willpower was a card.
yeah, Willpower, Judgment, Shimmerwing.
I need to play Willpower with all these new sympathy draw cards. It's gotta be able. I mean, at some point you just don't need more damage, but she's got to be able to just.
You can
unleash
play it
massive
later
stuff.
in a round now, probably. Like,
Right.
I had trouble playing it later in rounds before because her hand was lower, but now you can just like draw a couple cards and then explode something.
The issue is that Sympathy and Divine took Nature's ping monopoly. Yeah, that's why I think Sympathy and Divine are just because they round out a lot of things, but Nature is still very strong. Like I think those are like the top three if I had to guess.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Cool. It's so hard to say. I mean, our prizes aren't big enough. Pride isn't really around winning. So I still think the dominant force in shaping the meta is people getting bored of cards more than like actually power levels changing. Like I still think Chant of Transfusion is probably about exactly as good as it was when it was dominating now, and it's just maybe less good in comparison to everything else, but still have to believe that Chant of Transfusion decks are still incredibly strong.
Arguably, even better if you think about it, because the huge uptick in valuable allies, especially cheap allies that can feed it. Like one of the tricks when Ceremonial came out was there weren't that many good cheap allies that you wanted to die other than like Fire Archer.
Right.
Now there's just so many that you actively want to die or that can continue doing things that are a threat, and so I think that could power Chant of Transfusion even more.
The thing is that back in the Ceremonial Red Rains days, there was Phoenix Attendant. Right now, that card's bad now because everything kills it or exhausts it.
Silver Paladin. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and Clashing Tempers and other stuff, Ink Spill, whatever whatever, Scrawler, all that crap. Adaptodon.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It doesn't take much to buff
bad, but it's
Phoenix
still good
Attendant. I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of Paladin. Maybe it's just the games I'm playing, but it keeps being talked about.
Yeah, because people got bored of that now.
Well, yeah.
But
yeah, I don't know. There's a lot. I think we probably, even by the time Ascension comes out, I don't think we'll have really fully explored the totality of the meta. Like old stuff, someone's gonna come in. There's been a few new players. And they're gonna be like, oh, what's all this? Old Red Rain.
What's this realization card? Why has everyone been sleeping on Auric? And this is actually all a long con to discover, like, the intellectual savior of our society. It's like, oh, if you crack the code on that, then like we need to set you on
there's
more
something super
problems.
broken with it, and that's why Nick named the card Realization.
Yeah, it's gonna be something
like somebody's gonna realize how to do it, and it's gonna blow everyone's mind.
Now we're well over 2 hours, but I did also want to note that I also think the other big loser maybe I'm just out of it, but it feels like Maoni, she was so dominant alongside Brennan, and I feel like Silver Paladin made it really hard for Silver Snake. I just
Maybe.
don't see her that much.
I think there's ways for her to. Yeah, she has to work harder now to do her thing and get around some of that crap if it's in the meta. But she's probably still good.
I think she's still quite good. Who knows? Cinder Spirit could even be pretty solid for her. Like she likes time for things like Fate Reflection, and I know I saw Fred playing Maoni a few times, and he did really well. And it gives you flexibility in terms of how you play it. So if you're, especially if you're already playing with Gilder, like those three are pretty solid.
Yep.
And the argument's always been like, okay, well, if you want a paladin my snake, right? I just won't summon a snake. What are you gonna do? Hold your 4 dice guy in hand, and I'll spend 8 dice. You spend 6. Great.
Tuskmount could be good for her too.
Yeah.
Fred says the thing with realization is that there's a winning lottery number behind the card, but nobody is ever going to touch it. Look at the card. Probably right. Oh man. Well, this was fun.
The first letter of every word in realization provides a secret message.
It's a code to unlock. Oh god.
Is that flavor text?
On realization?
Is that where it is? Yeah. Is there some kind of secret message buried in the flavor? No, there isn't any.
No, there was. Isn't there?
No, there's not.
Oh no, it's on.
There's like something There's like something hidden in the art somewhere.
You need to give it to Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, I mean, well, I will not get political.
This is a mountain in Colorado, actually. There's a specific mountain, so maybe we need to search around the base of it.
Yeah,
there's a time of year.
You actually have to go here.
Where the red flowers bloom.
Oh, I thought you were going to apply stealing of the Declaration of Independence, but I was thinking the Constitution is like, well, you guys don't need it anymore.
Yeah, we don't have one of those.
Yeah.
It's no longer applicable. Let Nick Cage take it. Oh, man.
All right, guys. I got to work in the morning.
Yeah.
You go to bed.
Probably worth going to sleep at some point, but all right, we did it.
I'm glad we've been able to entertain 2 teenagers for a few hours.
Hey, 2 of the best players in the game.
Yeah, we solved realization too.
This is the only card we can't say we solved. We fixed everything else. This one's unknown. Hopefully we'll get back to maybe doing another episode or something fun with the new cards once they come out before Ascendancy takes over.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how long it'll be until we it's very possible that I'm going to get some early Ascendancy cards for the channel for us to play some games with. At least Kyle and I, or something with you guys or whatever. We'll try and get some content around that if we can get it out, but I don't know how long that'll be. We need to get something else going.
And we'll see the adjustments to the cards. I mean, No Such posted what the adjustments were from Gen Con, but I don't think any creator has actually shown the final
adjustments
cards.
To Ascendancy cards?
Yeah. Because they were different from when they were previewed back on the Team Covenant thing. So, anyway, all right. Cool.
Later, guys.
Thank you very much. If you're not janky, you're stanky. Frog up, wolf down.
Wolf down.
And all the rest.
Yep.
Turtle power.
Realize.
Have a good one, guys.
I feel like we need to get realize. Realize.
All right, we're back.
Okay.
We're too tired now.
All right.
Ciao.
See you guys.
Bye.